This video is for my people who consistently create long-form content. So whether that be YouTube videos, podcasts, live streaming, blogs, webinars. In this video, I'm going to share with you a game-changing strategy to get more mileage out of the content that you're already creating by repurposing. I'm going to be telling you why you should be repurposing, show you real-life results, give you some tips to repurpose your content, and if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to be posting 3 different tutorials over the next few weeks showing you exactly how to do it. So, why should we be repurposing our long-form content? Easy. Repurposing your content not only saves you time in creating new content, but it also gives your content a boost for those who didn't see it the first time. So for example, live streams. Maybe you have a ton of followers, but only a few showed up to the live stream. By repurposing that, you're getting more eyes on the message that you already created. If you already have lots of long-form content like podcasts, YouTube videos, blogs, and webinars, then you already did I want to say 60% of the work because you already created the content. Now all you have to do is edit it and see how you can reuse what you already have. And it's even better if you go into creating your content with this in mind. Now I have an exact method on how you can do this inside of my video editing course, Edit Like a Savvy Pro, which you can find in the description box. But I want to tell you how this worked for me in my business. Last year I did a ton of online networking. I was in a lot of networking groups, but I was like, I cannot continue to just promote my business in this one way. Talking to one person, talking to people one by one, basically. I was like, there is another way. I know there is another way, and I've done it before. And that is to create content. But I didn't want to create one singular piece of content every single day. So constantly coming up with ideas, then creating a post, then coming up with another idea and creating another post. I did not want to be on the content creation hamster wheel. So I went the long form content creation route and I actually created a podcast. But if you ever create podcasts, blogs, YouTube videos, it takes a while for them to gain traction, and basically your audience is not going to find it by themselves. You have to actually remind them to go see it. So I made it a point to basically repurpose the podcast, re-edit it, and create 2 to 3 mini videos a week. And then I took those 2 to 3 mini clips, so probably 30 seconds to a minute, and then I posted on social media. And eventually I started creating a graphic that said, new podcast, and it said the episode, new episode, go see it. And the results were amazing, honestly. Not only did the podcast grow from 0 listeners to probably about 70 downloads in the span of 3 months, but also my traffic to my website, it increased by over 100%. All of my social media accounts, all of the engagement, all of the reach, they were all up over 100% in that 3-month period. And this was all because I was taking content that I was already creating, with this in mind, and taking 20 to 30 second clips from these podcast episodes that I was creating and repurposing them. So now some tips for repurposing your content. The first tip that I have is make sure the way that you're repurposing your long form content is optimized for the platform that you're putting it on. For example, with live streams and webinars, maybe you want to post it to YouTube. Do not take that whole video and just throw it on YouTube. Edit it down. Make sure you're removing the stuff in the beginning and at the end of the video where you're talking to your coworkers and, talking to your friends. And keep in mind that there's a difference between repurposing and reposting. Repurposing is when you take a piece of content, right? And you create a new separate piece of content, but this new separate piece of content can stand on its own. So whether it's a edited clip or whether it's a graphic, it can stand on its own. Reposting is when you just basically take the same piece of content and you put it somewhere else. That's not repurposing. That is reposting. Same thing goes for YouTube videos and video podcasts. Don't just throw the whole video up on these different platforms. Make sure you repurpose it to fit what's working best. now for many of the platforms, that's short form video content. So you don't want to throw the whole video podcast or the whole YouTube video up on the platform when short content is doing really well and you know that people attention spans are very short. Now, if you're looking to start repurposing, make sure you turn your notifications and subscribe, because the next 4 videos that I'm going to be talking about is how you can repurpose different type of long form content. So that includes live streams, webinars, blogs, and video podcasts.